Okay. Okay. So this test 4, in my opinion, is easier than the test 3. Basically, the first part is about the equation, but a rational equation. Rational equation. Well, this is equation, but what's the new thing que bring me this equation? Bueno, es que the unknown, the variable, normally is located in the bottom. Okay, for example, the example 1 is 2 over t. T is a variable. 1 t over 4t minus 6. Okay, t is located in the numerator and the denominator. Crazy. Okay. Normally, the equation that we solved before is no fraction anymore. It's 2x plus 3 equal 5. And we solve it super easy, no? But in this case, no. In this case, a little bit complicated and tricky. Okay, so we have two possibilities. Look. We have, for example, sometimes we have proportion. A over B equals C over D. When this situation happens, we can apply cross multiplication. A times D is equal to B times C. This is the case that we can apply cross multiplication. It's a one possibility. But also this possibility frequently is good, but not always is good. Because suppose you have A over B is equal to C over D plus E over F or minus. We cannot apply cross multiplication, of course. No, we cannot. We cannot that. So the fantastic way, in my opinion, is, in algebra, when you have fractions and you need to remove the fraction because I don't like the fraction, you multiply the entire equation by the least common denominator and magically happen it disappear the fraction, no fraction anymore. You know that, right? You remember this idea that we applied before. So you find the least common denominator, you multiply the entire equation by the least common denominator, and no fraction anymore. Disappear the fraction. Okay, then to find the least common denominator in this equation, first of all, you need to factorization this expression. So t stays the same, but here I can find the greatest common factor, que es 2. 2 is the greatest common factor, 2t plus minus 3. Okay, super. Now I discover that the least common denominator is, remember the rule for finding least common denominator is, I want to repeat again because it's important, is you take every factor, no omission, any factor that we have in the denominator, no? And the repetition, well, you consider one time, or no exactly one time, majority of them, no? In this case, the factor that is involved in my problem is t, and the denominator part is 2, y es 2t minus 3. You take everything. But the least common denominator is 2t minus 3. And you multiply the entire equation by the least common denominator. One by one. Let's do it. Let's do it quickly. Let's do it slow first. And after we are doing shortcut. Huh? Okay, that's 2 over t multiplied by 2t minus 3. You multiply LCD by the first. And you multiply LCD by the second, no? Que es t over 2t minus 3 times 2t minus 3. So the thing I did was I copied 2 times. I copy this. Look, I copy this. Here, exactly the same. I copy this. Here, exactly the same. And I multiplication by this and this. Okay? Entonces magically happen when you are doing this operation, disappear the fraction. because this t is cancelled. 2 times 2 is 4. 2t minus 3. And this is cancelled, these two. And this 2t minus 3 is cancelled. And we have t times t squared. And we have a new equation. I suppose it's relatively easier than the original because do not contain fraction. But be careful, be careful. Be careful because this equation is tricky. It's tricky because sometimes we have extraneous solution. Sometimes yes, and sometimes no. The majority of the case, no. But sometimes yes, and you need to be aware for that situation. So when you divide, you cannot divide by 0. You know that this division is totally illegal. Any number divided by 0 is undefined. It's undefined. So therefore, we cannot divide by 0. So under this expression and this expression are equivalent under the consideration that t is not 0. What means that t is this? Well, 2, obviously 2 is not 0. T is 0 and 2t minus 3, no 0. Now the factor that you include here is not 0 because 0 divided by 0, I cancel out. Look, this is a mistake. Entonces now, this is a mistake, pero mistake for this value. For the rest of the value, que es the super majority, no. Entonces es 2t is equal to 3 divided by 2 is 3/2. So actually, illegal 3/2, sorry. Okay. Entonces, the extraneous solution or the restrictions, some people call restrictions of the problem is t no 0 and t no 3/2. Okay, let me stop for a moment. Stop. Because the thing we are doing is, okay, step number one. Factorization any expression in the denominator, one by one. Okay. Step number two. Find the LCD. I did that. Step number 3. Multiplication the entire equation by the least common denominator. And magically, we get the equivalent equation. For this equivalent equation, do not contain fraction. Good, I like that. However, don't forget to find the restriction because I need to avoid division by 0. And this may be introduced extraneous solution. This is clear or confusing?
It's confusing on the restriction part.
I have a question.
But I have a question.
Don't worry.
Professor.
The restriction is super easy.
But wait,
the restriction is the 0. The restriction is the 0 of the least common denominator. You take the expression of the least common denominator. Look. And you enforce it to be 0. Of course, 2 is not 0. T is 0. And 2t minus 3 equals 0. But exactly, you need to avoid this situation. Entonces, no 0, and no 0. So basically, you take the expression in the least common denominator, and you know that this expression, never should be equal to 0. Because you need to avoid division by 0. Entonces, you try to find the bad guy que satisfies this bad condition. Now you focus in the solution in this equation we are doing now, no? So
right.
This is
Don't you have to finish that?
No, of course no. We have step 4, and step 4 is the most important step. Es que you solving the equivalent in between quotation mark. Equivalent.
My question is.
Valent.
Don't we have to finish that equation? 4 times 2, t is...
Wait. Let me try. I realize que this equation, is quadratic equation. This equation is quadratic. How do you know? because the exponent is 2. Entonces, for solving any quadratic equation, so far, we studied factorization. So, little by little, you remove the parentheses. 80 minus 12 is equal to t squared. And you are putting a standard. Standard means I move everything to the one side, left or right. Remember, the equation is symmetric. T squared minus 8t plus 12 equals 0. Oh, much better for me is t squared minus 8t plus 12 equals 0. So I manipulate. Don't expect that the equation is super nice. No. It's nice here.
Professor, I have a
Don't manipulate the equation, but let me finish. So you let me finish. You see the big picture of the problem, and you maybe understand. And you avoid equation. Okay, we waste the time with this. Okay, you take big picture, and after we solving your question one by one. So, okay. So, I suppose that you understand how I am transforming from the step 3 to the step 4. Yes or no? Okay,
Yes.
the only thing is, now, I factorization the trinomial, okay, by the way, it's regular trinomial, t, and the number is 6 and 2, because 6 times 2 is 12, and 6 plus 2 is 8, same sign, equal to 0, and you break it down into linear equation, easy. And you determine that t is 6 and t is 2. And it's the final answer. Well, I don't know, because I need to come back to the restriction. Remember, the restriction is the bad guys. And the bad guys, see, they are coincidence with the solution for the equivalent equation. And the restriction you delete. Suppose hypothetically, you see, not in this example, but I promise you see in another example, que suppose que you, and you get, for example, t equals 0 and t equals 2. Suppose hypothetically, 0, no, I discard the solution because t0 is restriction. Do you understand the idea? Okay, I want to repeat at the beginning. This is a rule, always is the same. Step number 1, you take the expression in the denominator one by one and factorization. In this case, I see a binomial, but the only thing you should do is GCF. GCF, I discovered que 2. I factor out. Okay, when you have totally factorization, in factor form, is expression, you determine LCD. I suppose that everyone understands very well LCD, right? No problem with the LCD. Immediately you find the LCD, you enforce LCD equals 0. And this solution, this LCD equals 0, give me restriction. The restriction is a bad guy of the problem, or the potential bad guy. I don't know si we need or no. Okay. After multiplication, the entire equation by LCD, and magically we go over to the step 3 in which we have no fraction anymore. And this is equivalent. Equivalent. This is E, no? Equivalent equation. This equation is equivalent in between quotation mark to the original. Why quotation mark? Because under the consideration que 0 and 3/2 is never a solution. Okay, the rest is pretty easy. Apply distributive property. You put in a standard form, quadratic equation. We solve it by factorization. You break it down into linear equation, and 6 and 2. And 6 and 2, they are no coincidence with the bad guy. Therefore, the solution is 6 and 2, exactly like option A. Any question? Now, come on.
Yes, Professor. The thing that I don't understand is, Professor, we need to, what is the important part? The restriction, or we need to prove
everything is important. Every detail is important. Okay, the important, you say important solution. The solution of this this equation is solution set is 6. So you consider that this is important, this is solution. And this is the complementary part in which you see there are coincidence with the one solution and the restriction. You ignore or delete this. In this example, unfortunately, you don't see that situation, but you need to be aware that this situation may be happening. Clear?
Yes, Professor.
Excellent. Go ahead.
Can you answer T equals 6
and
T equals 2? Can that be the answer?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
T equals 6 and T equals 2.
Okay, thanks.
Like the option A. Do you see option A? 2 and 6, 6 and 2. Doesn't matter the order?
Yes.
Let's move on to the example 2. It's similar. Okay. Okay, example 2 is x plus 8 divided by x minus 4 equal 6, 4 minus 6. Okay. In this case, you can apply cross multiplication, but no, I do not recommend cross multiplication. Okay. Step 1 is factorization, but we cannot factorization anything because any expression is prime. You need to find least common denominator. Least common denominator is both. It's x minus 4 and it's 4 minus 6. Okay, actually it's the same. They are twin brothers, no? Twin brother, no. Brother and sister. But it's okay. This is my LCD, and the restriction is no 4. Because 4, remember, you enforce it to be 0, and x minus 4 is 0, and 4 minus x is 0. We get exactly the same answer as 4. And the only bad guy, the only restriction is 4. And you multiply this equation by this. Okay, the shortcut to do fast. When you multiply LCD, guess this. Time the first is obvious. Okay, x minus 4 is cancelled out. And stay alive, x plus 8 times the other, que is 4 minus x. Make sense? And when you multiply LCD again by the second, this and this is cancelled, and it stays 6 multiplied by x minus 4. Guy, you see it's equivalent in this particular example, not always, like apply cross multiplication like that and like that. Do you see it's the same? Do you see it's the same?
Yes, Professor.
And also one we can foil and complicate your life, but no, because I know that 4 minus x and x minus 4, when you divide this, it's equal to -1, right? They are brother and sister, and you can delete if you want, and this you put -1 here. So x plus 8 is equal to -6. Do you see this idea? Under the consideration that no 4, because this is 4, we cannot cancel out. Because, for example, 5 times 0 is equal to 6 times, okay, 6 times 0. This is true, right? Because 5 times 0 is 0. 6 times 0 is 0. This is true statement. However, we can cancel out this. No, we have contradiction, right? That is the reason, the restriction. So we can delete under the consideration that x is not 4. Now, finally, x is equal minus 6 minus 8 is -14. Final answer. 14, no coincidence with the bad guy is 8. Therefore, -14 is good answer, get the option B. Super. We apply everything you know so far. The algebra, you simplification, twin brother and sister, factorization, blah, 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 blah. Clear or confusing?
I have a question.
Go
We
ahead.
just apply cross multiplication, and we
You
have
can.
like
When
7.
it's proportion, Nuela, when it's proportion, it's like that. Confusing. La quencha, A over B, C over D. You can. Cha. AD equal BC. But when you have plus something, E over F, no. To say, I decide in my mind, when I explain this, never apply cross multiplication. But you apply the idea for the least common denominator, okay, always working 100%, in the specific case, que es proportion, is equivalent to cross multiplication. I proved this. Look, this answer, we get exactly the same when you multiply x minus 4 times 6 and x plus 8 times 4 minus x. This and this together is the same. That's a coincidence, but not always working. Lakeisha, what is your question? Okay, I got it. Okay, good. One more question. Nuela, do you understand that sometimes we can apply cross multiplication? So you apply and the proportion is correct. It's super, but not always you can. When you have no proportion is the typical equation que have this format, A over D, A over B is equal to C over D. When it's like that, yes, you can. Otherwise, no. So I prefer no. Let's do it by the LCD anytime, always. Number 3. Number 3 is 4 over x minus 4 plus 4 again, 2x minus 8 equal 6. Es obvio que in this equation we cannot apply cross multiplication because it's no proportion. Why no? Because it's addition here, plus. This point breaking this into fraction. No good, not possible. So what is the step 1? Factorization. You factorization 2 here, 2 out. Now what is the next step? Least common denominator. Es obvio que least common denominator is 2 times x minus 4. And I repeat x minus 4 only 1 time, not 2 times, because it's repeated. When it's repeated some factor, you take 1 time, no? Or no 1 time, you take the majority of time that appears. But no, si suppose que we have here in a hypothetical case x minus 4 squared, it's not the case, you take x minus 4 squared, que es the higher exponent. But in this case, no, it's 1 and 1 here. And you take 1 time. Do you follow me? Everyone follow me? Now multiplication,
Yes.
everything by the LCD, and magically, no fraction anymore we have in my problem. When you multiply LCD by the first guy, it's obvious that x minus 4 say goodbye and stay 2 and 4 is 8. Plus, when you multiply multiplication by the second, everything say goodbye, x minus 4 and 2, and stay only 4, correct? In the right hand we have 12. Welcome from 12, 6 times 2, x minus 4, something like that. This is my new equation, que is equivalent to the original except the restriction. The restriction is when the least common denominator expression, no 0, que this is no 0 and no 4. It's the 0 of the least common denominator. Any solution equal to 0, 4, no good. This is 12. This is 12, coincidence. Divided by 12, both sides. Why not? It's 1. And move 4 to the left. Does 1 plus 4 is 5. And this is the answer. No? And 5, there are no coincidences with the restriction. 5 is good. That's the option A. Do you get the idea?
No, I don't want the idea of restriction.
Okay. Okay. What is the idea behind the restriction? Do you remember very well the thing that frequently we are doing? Suppose this and this. You definitely you delete this and this, and you see this is equivalent x plus 2. Yes or no? Do you remember, right?
Excuse me, Professor. So
But
we are
this is
still doing rational equation. It's the same as the previous.
Yeah. Everything is the same. Same step, but in different example. I try to explain something to Nuela. Nuela, do you remember that when you have the same factor, you delete, right? But this statement is not 100% true. No. This is under the consideration. Let me put "and" here, that x is not 4. And that part is the restriction. Because suppose that x is 4. 4 minus 4. 4 plus 2. 4 minus 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. 0 times 6 divided by 0. If I cancel out 0, I can't do that. No. So this cancel out. I can do under the consideration that x is not 4. See, x is 4, this expression is not equal to this. Okay, because actually this is 6, no? This is 4 plus 2 is 6. And 0 times 6 over 0 is equal to 6, no? Do you understand the idea now?
Yes.
Entonces, okay. Entonces, you don't need to analyze and detail everything anytime, blah, 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 blah. No. You face that problem. You understand that you are doing equation, or you solving the equation, que es rational equation. Esa equation es especial, que the unknown is in the denominator part. Entonces, you factorization, any expression in the denominator. You find the least common denominator. You find the restriction just in case they are coincidence with the potential solution. You multiply the original equation by the LCD, and magically we get a new equation. Look at that. It's super easy than the original. Look. But this equation is not 100% equivalent to the original, except in the restriction. You solve this equation. You focus it in the equation I put in the red box. And the answer is 5. See, the answer is 5, and they are no coincidence with the restriction. This 5 is good. It's a solution. See, they are coincidence, so you delete, you ignore, you discard this solution. Okay? More clear?
Yes, so
more clear, Noela?
X equals 5. That's the answer.
That's the answer?
A little bit.
A little bit. Okay. Don't worry, we have a lot of examples. And this is important, guy, in the test 4. Solution for the rational equation. Okay, let's go to the number 4, no? Number 4 now? Number 4. Okay, you guide me, step by step. 9, 5x divided by 2x plus 12 is equal 4x plus 24. Here we have 2x minus, no, x plus x plus 6, 6x minus 1. Okay, this is my equation. I could be right, I could be wrong. I could be right, no?
Yeah, that's right.
What should I do first? Step 1.
Back.
Absolutely. Factorization 1 by 1. The expression and the denominator. This guy, and this guy. GCF is 2. GCF is 4. And this is the prime expression. Okay, I did that. Step 1, factorization, any expression in the denominator. What is the next step?
Need to find the least common denominator.
Absolutely perfect. The least common denominator. Where is our least common denominator? Help me, guys.
2.
No. 2, no. What is the least common denominator between 4 and 2?
2.
No.
No, it's 4. It's 4.
It's 4. Okay. Look. 2 and 4. 2 is just 2 is prime, and 4 is 2 and 2. And remember the rule of the least common denominator is different to the greatest common factor. Okay, you are super familiar with this. You apply here greatest common factor, and that part, greatest common factor. But you apply now LCD. LCD rules say you take every factor only when they are repetition in different number. We have 1, 2 here, and we have 2, 2 here. You take the majority of them. So you delete this guy because it's the least common denominator, que es 2 times 2 que 4. So actually, in the numerical part, que es 2 and 4, the LCD is 4. And what is the least common denominator between this, and this? X plus 6. You take 3 times X plus 6, or 2 times, or 1 time?
1 time.
1 time. Very well. And immediately you find the restrictions. I put a capital R, column. And you enforce it to be 0. This expression. 4 never is 0. X plus 6 is equal to 0. It's equivalent to say that. Entonces, es no negative 6. This is the only restriction. I reserve this number for the last moment. When you compute everything, si the answer is equal to negative 6, I suppose que it's totally wrong. Yeah, si it's another value, 5, 2, 1, it's okay. Okay. What is the next step? What is the next step?
Is to multiply.
Multiply, very well. Multiply everything by LCD. Okay, but let's do it by the shortcut. Shortcut is, okay, I put in my mind like that, 4x plus 6, 4x plus 6, 4x plus 6. Okay, what happened? 4 divided by 2 is 2. And x plus 6, x plus 6, I can do that under the consideration of this restriction. Okay? Equal. And here, equal. 4 and 4 is gone. And x plus 6 can stay alive, only 2x, no? Plus x plus 6 and x plus 6 cancel, stay alive, 4 parenthesis 6x minus 1. This is my new equation. Okay, I suppose que es equivalent to the original under that consideration. Everyone follow me? Sure?
Yes.
Let's continue. 2 is equal to 2x. Remove the parentheses. 24 minus 4, no? So we have 2 is equal, combined like term is 26, no? Minus 4. I move this is 2 plus 4 is equal to 26x. 2 plus 4 is 6. 2 plus 4 is 6 over 26 is equal to x. And we can reduce as 3 over 13. No? This answer is not here. Well, I suppose que I did something wrong, or this answer is not here. But let me check it. I have in my calculator. My calculator fantastic because I put any equation and the calculator solving without have the symbolic mathematics, no? Suppose negative 5x divided by parenthesis 2x plus 12 is equal to x divided by parenthesis 4x plus 24 plus parenthesis 6x minus 1, I just typing, divided by parenthesis x plus 6. Let me see if I copy or no. Well, boom, wow. Now I solve. I put in the calculator, solve any equation, and then my calculator obey the order. 1/9. I did something wrong. The answer is 1/9. Okay, let me see what is the problem. Let me see what is the problem. Do you see any mistake? Let me see, 24 minus 4. Well, I suppose can the simplification. How did they get 2 on the first fraction? Bueno, what's the division? 4 divided by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. I forgot -5. I am crazy. Look, this is completely wrong. Okay, I am crazy. Okay, I am crazy. Don't worry, be happy. Okay, let me copy again. 4 parenthesis x plus 6, que es the LCD, divided by no, time, this expression que 5x over 2 parenthesis x plus 6, no? Actually, I am doing the multiplication, this times this. So I can see, using my eyes, que 4, suppose que this I put here in the top, no? 4 divided by 2 is 2. Do you see where I come from? And this x is cancelled. And it stay 2 times -5x, que es negative 10. Oh, I forgot that. It's negative 10. So the multiplication of the first one is negative 10x. I suppose que the second I do.
What is the 4?
What is the 4? Look at that. The LCD. My LCD was 4 parenthesis x plus 6.
Yes, Professor, but when we eliminate just by 6.
Say again, I don't understand. The echo don't help
When
me
you
too.
eliminate it, Professor, you just eliminated the x plus 6.
This is cancel. Choo. This is cancel. Look, this is cancel.
Yes, what about the 4?
This 4, I divide this 4 divided by this 2 and give me 2.
Okay.
The only thing I forgot was this stupid -5x. Okay, I need to copy. I suppose that the rest I do it well. You have 2x, remember, right? Because this is cancelled, down, and this is cancelled, 4 and 4, and stay alive 2x, plus 4 times 6x minus 1, no? Okay, there's 4, multiplication by this, because x plus 6 is cancelled. Now it's great, it's good. Let me try. You apply distributive property here. Minus 10x is equal to 2x plus 24 x minus 4. Okay, this is minus 10x is equal, this is 26, no? X minus 4. I move 26 or whatever you want, negative 10x minus 26x equal -4, no? Because my intention is combine later. This is negative 36. X equal -4. Divided by negative 36, both sides. Negative divided by negative is positive, and we reduce in lowest term. I know that 36 is 9 times 4. When you reduce this is 1, you reduce it is 9, 1/9, exactly the same the calculator say.
Yeah, that's what you had before, right?
No, because I forgot something here. I forgot that part, look. I forgot that part. Similar, but one stupid mistake. Que you don't copy or you don't see or no, I don't know. que es the option D, I suppose. I forgot negative 5x. This is my problem. This was my problem. Any question? Any question? Confusing? Oh, no?
I got it.
You got it, right. Okay. Okay, entonces I need help. For number 5. For number 5. Number 5 is 4 over y plus 5 minus 6 over y minus 5 is equal 4 over y squared minus 25. Good, very good. Okay, help me, guys. Step 1. What is the step 1?
We need to the LCD.
No, before this, before the
Factorization.
LCD. Factorization. It's important. Suppose, why it's important? Suppose que I need to find the least common denominator between 9 and 15. Bueno, professor, I break it down. I factorization first. Yeah, I realize, well, LCD, another hypothetical example, no, to illustrate the idea. You take every factor involved in the problem, que es 3 and 5. But how many 3? 2, 3, get the majority. And this 3 is not important. And 5, don't forget. And 3 times 3 is 9, times 5, 45. Okay, entonces, one process before LCD is factorization. Super important. Super important. Wow, what the hell? Okay, entonces, factorization. This expression is prime. This expression is prime. This expression is prime. This expression is prime, but this no is prime. This is different of a square and the factorization of y, 5, que is square root 25 plus or minus. Okay? Differences of the squares. I did the first step. Done. What is the second step?
To find the LCD.
Find the LCD. And what is the LCD, by the way?
Isn't it 5? You just
Y 5
plus 5.
Only y plus 5?
No, y 5.
Both. How many times? One time of each?
Yes.
Absolutely. What are the restrictions associated with the LCD? Que es the bad guy. What are the restrictions associated with the LCD? So restriction is a value que when you plug in the factor of the LCD, give me 0. I suppose que es 5 and negative 5. No 5, illegal. And no negative 5, illegal. Entonces I reserve this value for the last moment. Now multiplication, the entire equation by the LCD. Let's do it now well. Okay, let's organize. The organization is important in mathematics. So step 3 is the most important step, in my opinion, is multiply the entire equation by LCD. Okay, you copy. How you copy? You copy here, y plus 5, y minus 5. Y plus 5, y minus 5. Y plus 5, y minus 5. Or you are doing mentally if you want.
And start canceling.
Exactly. This and this say goodbye. And stay alive in the first one. Who stay alive?
4.
And?
Minus 5. Y minus 5.
In the second? Who is cancelled? Y minus 5. Stay 6 and y plus 5, no? In the right hand side, everything is cancelled. Wow. And stay alive. Who is stay alive?
4. Parenthesis.
Exactly. Just 4. End the story.
Okay.
And you see that now we have in our hand super easy equation. So we magically we convert this crazy, horrible equation and one elementary equation. You apply distributive property, 4y minus 20 minus 6y minus 30 equal 4. Entonces negative 2y minus 50 equal 4, ¿no? Minus 2y equal 4 plus 50, que es 54. By 2, by negative 2, ¿no? Es 27, ¿no? Pero minus. Y is equal minus 27.
Correct.
And there are coincidences with the bad guy? No. No coincidence with the bad guy. Que es 5 negative 5. This is very, very seldom can happen, a coincidence. Of course. In one example you can see, in the test I promise, I put one example that there are coincidences because I want to evaluate this idea. I understand this one. Like ella dice, I understand now. Ok, entonces es de option C, ¿no?
No word problems on the test, please.
No, never I put. In the Alex, yes. But in the test, no. In the test on paper, never I put a word problem. No, don't worry about it. Okay, no. We did number 5, no? Now 6. 6. Sure. 6. 6 is 5 over n plus 2 minus a over n plus 2. Again the same. No, it's a minus here, carajo. It's a minus here. And it's a plus. This is 2 over m squared minus 4, no? I copy well? Yeah, I suppose yes. What should I do? Step 1.
We need to do the factorization.
Primer, but this is not primer. The factorization is m to 2 plus or minus. Done. Step 2. LCD. What is the LCD in this case?
M plus 2, M plus 2.
Absolutely perfect. M plus 2 times M minus 2. What is the restriction associated with the LCD? What is the bad guy? 2 or negative 2. Very well. And this is the bad guy. Any solution equal to this? Wrong. Now what is step 3?
Is to multiply.
It's a multiply. Multiply by LCD gets M plus 2, M minus 2, M plus 2, M minus 2, M plus 2, M minus 2. This is cancel. Entonces 5 times M plus 2 minus 8 times M minus 2 equal just 2, no? Because this is, everything is cancelled. And this is my easy equation under the consideration of this restriction. Now the rest is pretty easy. Apply distributive property. 5m plus 10 minus am plus 16 equal to. We combine later, minus 3 plus 26 equal to, no? Minus 3m is equal to minus 26 is 24. Minus 24 divided by negative 3 both sides. M is 8. And there are no coincidence with the restriction. Okay, this answer is good. It's perfect. It's the option B. You get the idea?
Yes.
No. I propose you. See, I propose you do 7. 8 no. And do maybe 9. Que is the case in que I suppose que there are coincidence with the restriction. Let's do 7 because 7 is nice. to understand the entire process. Okay, but you guide me. You guide me. I want to copy 7. 7 is y over y squared minus 13y plus 36 plus y over y squared minus 16 is equal y over y squared minus 5y plus, no, minus 36. Okay, let's do it. What is the first step?
Factorization.
Factorization. Yeah, I can see trinomial, difference of a square, and another trinomial. I copy y, and y, 6y. Who helped me in the first trinomial? Que es regular trinomial, no? Two numbers, what is the key que open the door? 36 and 13. What's the combination in that case? Two numbers can multiply, give me 36, and somehow when you adding or subtracting, give me 13. Huh? No idea?
I'm doing the decomposition.
9 and 4, Irma Villanueva said 9 and 4. Because 9 times 4 is 36. 9 plus 4 is 13. What sign? What sign? What sign?
Same
What
sign.
sign? Eh? Negative. Both. Very well. You are the best. Well. Bueno, let's do in the second. The second is difference of a square. Super easy. Square root 16 and 4. Plus or minus. Done. And the trinomial, okay, again, well. And the last trinomial is exactly the same, 9 and 4, because 9 times 4 is 36, and 9 minus 45. But the sign is negative 9 and positive 4. Different, yeah. We are doing the factorization. Done. We are the best in Miami-Dade College. After that,
we're gonna find the LCD.
What is the LCD in your opinion? What is the LCD? Help me, guy, to find the LCD. Okay, I'm confused.
Y minus 9. Y plus 4 and y minus.
Absolutely perfect. Y minus 9, he said y minus 4 and y plus 4. Only one time, mister.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect. This is my LCD. What is the restrictions associated with the least common denominator? What is the bad guy associated with the LCD?
9,
Y
4,
9, 4, and
negative 4.
absolutely perfect. Any answer equal to this stupid value is completely wrong. Okay, now I go to the multiplication at the last moment. Multiplication everything by the LCD, que es y minus 9, y minus 4, y plus 4. Repetition, y minus 9, y minus 4, y plus 4. Y minus 9, y minus 4, y plus 4. Let's do it. Be careful, because don't happen exactly like me, I omit one guy. This is cancel, and this is cancel. Stay alive, y minus 4 and y. Don't forget this y. This and this say goodbye, this and this say goodbye. Stay only y times y minus 9. Okay, now here, y minus 9 is cancelled, y plus 4 is cancelled. Stay only y times y minus 4. Something like that. And this equation is equivalent to the original, but the scissor, but under the consideration that this value is completely out the game. Now the rest is distribute the property. y squared plus 4y plus y squared minus 9y. And here we have y squared minus 4y. We combine like term. This and this together is 2y squared minus 5y is equal y squared minus 4y. Okay, entonces I realize that moment that we have in front of the quadratic equation. When you see exponent 2 is quadratic, and the only way that we studied so far for solving this equation is putting a standard, so you move everything to the left. Right hand side must be 0, and we one more time combine like that. 2y squared minus y squared is y squared, only one. And negative 5 and positive 4 and negative y equals 0. This is my equation. Okay, this is super easy because the GCF, and this is y minus 1, and you put each factor separate. Y0, look, the first one, and y minus 1 equals 0. Imply that y is 1. So the solution is 0 and 1. And they are no coincidence with the restriction. Let me see, no coincidence. The solution is 0 and 1, like the option C. Okay, so we skip number 8 because it's the same routine. Yeah, I propose you go to the 10. So I skip 8 and 9. Go to the 10. I suppose in 10 we have problem with the restrictions. How do you know that? Well, I don't know, but I suppose yes. Because as you see in the option D, you see the symbol anti-set. Well, in other case, we have this symbol and no restriction. But well, let's try. Oh, I don't know. No, let's do them both. Number 9 and number 10. I suppose at least one we have restriction and we have a extraneous solution. So let's move on to let's skip number 8. Let's move on to the number 9. Number 9 is 7 over m plus 4 minus 6 m minus 4, this is 4, equal negative 56 61. Okay, factorization, the denominator prime, but this is no prime. This is mm4 plus or minus. Our LCD is both. LCD is m plus 4, m minus 4. And the restriction associated is positive 4 and negative 4. Bad guy. No good. Now multiplication. When you multiply the LCD, let's do it quickly, guys. By the first one, it's obvious. M plus 4 is cancelled. And it stays only 7 times m minus 4. Get this. When you are doing the multiplication for the second, it's minus 6 times something. So let me use another color to see that m minus 4 is cancelled. And stay alive m plus 4. And the right hand side, everything is cancelled. It's minus 56. And this is my new equation under this consideration. Okay, the rest is easy. Distribute the property, 7m minus 28 minus 6m minus 24 is equal to minus 56. We combine 7 and 6 as 1m. Let me use on the calculator. 28, well, no necessarily calculator. 28 and 24 is 12, carry that one, 52. And minus 52, no? Equal minus 56. Okay, therefore, solution is 56 plus 52.
Perfect.
And negative 4, no?
34. It's 34. 24 doesn't have m.
24 have no m. Okay, 6. I multiply this and this, multiply this and this, multiply this and this, multiply this and this. 6, negative 6 times 24 is negative 24. Some contradiction you see or no?
Yes, Professor, because
What's the problem?
Negative 28 minus negative 6.
6m minus 24 because
It
this
was
minus.
it was 36, right, Professor? I'm confused.
What
No, it's
part?
correct. It's correct. M equals negative.
Okay.
Oh, Professor, sorry, I didn't see 7.
Okay, so you get that. It's negative 4. We compare. Negative 4 is in the collection of the bad guy. Therefore, this equation have no solution. No solution. Because the only equation I get, they are coincident with the bad guy, and the solution is anti-set, like that. Like the option D. Do you understand very well this or no? One more or no? Let's do it number 10. Let me see what. No, we have time. We have time. Number 10. Number 10 is similar, I guess so. It's 6 over amplify equal 1 minus 1 over amplify, n minus 5. Okay, in the denominator we cannot do factorization because the expression are prime. The least common denominator is obvious, que es amplify and n minus 5 together. The restriction associated with this situation is 5, no 5 and no negative 5. And when you multiply, this is cancel. It stays 6 times n minus 5 equal, in this case, both. Multiplication by 1, no? No cancel anything. It's n plus 5 and n minus 5. And, well, minus, is this is cancel with this. And it stays negative 1 and n plus 5. Something like that. Be careful with the sign. Be careful with the sign because this negative affect everything in this factor can stay alive. Okay. Now distribute the property. 6m minus 30. In this case it's easy. In this case it's easy because this is the difference of a square, but backward. This is m squared minus 25. Yes or no? Do you see this or no? Suppose you don't.
Yes, Professor.
Backward. Remember, this formula, a squared minus b squared is equal to a plus b times a minus b. Normally, we are doing that direction, because factorization, but in this direction is multiplication. I can see that this guy have opposite sign. Huh? Suppose you don't see, don't worry, be happy, because m plus 5 times m minus 5, you don't see, okay, you apply FOIL, m squared. This is negative 5m, and this is positive 5m, and this is minus 25. Look at what happened. This guy cancel always, and stay alive m squared minus 25. Minus m, minus 5, because this might affect everything inside this. Okay, so we have, let me see. We have 6m minus 30 is equal m squared minus 30 again, no? This is 30, 25 and 5 minus m. Okay, this 30 is cancelled, yes or no? And so we have m squared minus m minus 6m. I move this. It's a quadratic equation, no? It's a quadratic equation. You move everything to the one side. Doesn't matter if it's left or right, because the equation is completely symmetric. M squared minus 7m. Now factorization. The GCF is m minus 7 equal to 0. That means we have the solution 0 and 7. According to the restriction of 5 and negative 5, we have no problem. This is the option A. Okay, 0 and 7. Any question? Any question? This is the first part of the chapter 4. This kind of equation is called a rational equation. Let's spend the 10 minutes we have available to introduce the new idea. The new idea of the chapter 4 is a radical. It's a radical. Entonces, I need to understand the radical. Radical is, you know, okay, a radical. Okay, a radical, for example, you have a radical. Radical 25, square root 25 is 5. Because 25, I know is 5 and 5. Okay? And the idea of the square root is try to find one number that multiply by itself. Give me the number inside the radicals. Simple. This is a square root. However, you have cubic root of 27 is 3. Why? Because 27 is 3933. And we have 1, 2, and 3, 3. And this 3, 3 inside the radical represent 1, 3 outside. So this 2, 2, 2 inside the square root represent 1, 2 can fly. Look. In my mind, I saw like that. This is 5 times 5. And it's couple. Fly outside the radical, go outside the house, and it's 5. In this case, cubic root 3 times 3 times 3, and this 3 inside the cubic root represent 1, 3 outside. Okay? Suppose cubic root 64. Cubic root. Let's continue cubic root. After we continue with the higher root, 64. You break it down. You have no idea. When you put it in the calculator, you can put it in the calculator. However, by hand, it's 64. You divide it by 2, que es 32. Divided by 2, que es 16. Divided by 2, que es 8. Divided by 2 is 4. Divided by 2 is 2. Wow. How many 2 we have in 64? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we have cubic root. And cubic root, you select 3 by 3, not 2 by 2. In square root, you select 2 by 2. In the cubic root, you select 3 by 3. So we have one couple. One couple, no. 3, 2 represent 1, 2 can fly outside the radical. And this again happens exactly the same situation. And these 2, 2, que es a factor, multiply each other, give me 4. The answer is 4. Of course, you put in any. How come you do the square root of 8? Okay, Bianca Murillo says square root 8. Square root 8. 8 is not perfect square. However, you can find the exact answer. You divide it by 2. 2 is 4. 2 and 2. So we have, this is equivalent to say 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. And you see a couple of 2 here. And this couple of 2 fly outside the radical like a 1, 2 outside and stay alive inside the radical 1, 2. This guy stay inside the radical. When the number is perfect square or perfect cubic, everything go outside. But when this is not perfect square, I suppose that 1 stay inside. Okay? Do you understand very well this idea? And similar situation happen with the variable. Okay, suppose the square root, let me complicate your life. 48 x squared y 4. Compute that. I have no idea. Okay, but so you put in the calculator, 48 is not perfect square. Okay, therefore you need to get the no approximate answer, decimal. No. The exact answer. So you put 48 divided by 2 is 24, divided by 2 is 12, divided by 2 is 6, divided by 2 is 3. Okay, and you analyze now. Look, we have a couple 2. This represents 1, 2 outside the radical. And this is another 2 can fly outside the radical. And 2 times 2 is 4. Entonces, the number que go outside es 4. Que what's the multiplication? 2 times 2. and the number que stay inside is this 3. Do you understand the numerical part? The variable part is super easy because you supposed default in square root, so you don't see any index here. You suppose que default is 2, is a square. And you divide 2 divided by 2 is 1 outside. And 4 divided by 2 is 2, y squared. Final answer. This is the answer. Include, not necessary to put the long radical, 4xy squared radical 3. More clear or confusing?
We need, for example, we don't have a
I don't understand.
We don't have a perfect root, Professor. For example, some random number. But
No. In this chapter, I need the exact answer, no approximate answer.
Okay. When we do
You say exact answer, the only possibility is do it by hand. In the calculator, you do approximate answer. No good. Okay?
What was my example? 48. I have like a perfect root, right?
It's another possibility. Okay. No era 6. 48. Instead of doing this division, no, you are doing that way. Look. You break it down, 3 and 16. Because look. 2 is 16. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. And this 3 is this 3. And see, my goal is find the square root this. Yeah, I know I discovered that 16 is perfect square because I know get 4. The answer is 2 radical 3. Exactly, 4, sorry. Because square root 16, sorry, is 4, not 2. Yeah, and we get exactly the same answer. And we get exactly the same. Anyway, the way you prefer. You break it down. Remember, the factorization is unique. It doesn't matter the order. The order is not important. Or you try to find inside the 48 one number that is perfect square. This is a shortcut. Or no. Or you break it down completely. And you analyze the couple. Because I know that any couple of factor go outside like only one. It's the same. Either way, guys, the way you prefer. Okay. Let's do one more. This is like an introduction for the radical. Now one more, and after we dedicate the entire time doing this. Okay, suppose cubic root. Suppose cubic root of the 125 x to the 4th power, y to the 5th power. Bueno, 125 is divisible by 5, que es 25, and 25 5 and 5. You have the exactly amount of factor that we need. So that means, that means que 125 is perfect cubic number, and the answer is 5. 5 totally outside the radical, only one. Because the cubic root 3, and we need 3 factors, the same. Si es square root is 2. Si es 4 root is 4. And what about the variable? Oh, the variable is complicated. This is a cubic root. You try to find the multiple of 3 close to 4 down, que es cubic. So in my mind, working like that. 4 power is 3 and 1. And y is 3 and 2, no? Because 3 plus 2 is 5, 3 plus 1 is 4. And 3 is divided by 3 is 1, so we have outside x and y. Because cubic root, x to the cubic power is x, no? And likewise, cubic root, y to the cubic power is y. And I stay alive, I stay inside 1x and 2y. Clear or confused? Okay, don't worry. We'll practice this in detail next time. Don't forget Today at midnight is the due date to submit everything. Send me by email the test on paper and submit Alex. Are you clear or confusing? Today is the due date. Because tomorrow I start grading that. Any question? Any question? Are you clear or confusing? Any situation that you have, particular situation, you need to communicate with me. No communication, 0